Thank you for joining us, and we are here with Suzanne Hogan from A People's History of Kansas City, a podcast kind of talking about so many great stories of Kansas City history. We're so happy to be here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Thinking about season 2, does it feel like a new chapter or a new book compared to season 1?
I don't know. That's a really good question. It's a lot of what last season was. It's, more of kind of that potpourri perspective. Like each episode is its own story. It's not, say, a whole season about one topic, you know? But I think what's different and exciting about this season is that every single story is a story that's really underrepresented in our community, and that it's time to really bring those stories to light and celebrate them and share them. And I'm really excited about every single episode for that point specifically, because I think that last season I was still kind of figuring out, what the style was and, where we wanted to go, and it covered a lot of ground, and so does season 2. But I think the vision is definitely more around amazing, true things that people have done to shape our current city and community, but are stories that are just that are hard to find and you don't get taught about in school.
People do things every day, take action, and make changes that shape our world. And that's what our podcast, A People's History of Kansas City, is all about. Telling those true stories of people in the past who have shaped our community. Stories of women, people of color, visionaries, educators, and everyday rabble-rousers. People who have been written out of history or maybe weren't recognized in their time for the contributions they made.
The first season, I enjoyed having stories that take us back to a different time. Do you think that appetite is stronger now than last year, maybe?
I think so. I think a lot of people, this has been a historic time, and we're living through a really unprecedented time in history, and a lot of us are experiencing so many new things for the first time. But there are points in history that we can look back to and that can be helpful to kind of framing what we do about this, And so I think that telling stories about people who fought against odds, or did something that was dangerous, or did something that was when everything around them was against them, but still knew it was the right thing to do and made a difference. And even if they weren't recognized in their time for that type of way of living is important. And this season definitely, I think, gets at that.
Looking back at season 1, was the episode of Coal Camp one of the more challenging ones in terms of production, or was it just challenging from the perspective of having to hide in a gas station during a tornado warning?
That one took the most coordinating, and as far as, coordinating and travel and figuring that out, it definitely took that. And actually that one surprisingly had I got so much response from people in Germany and German speakers all around the country, and I'm still getting responses from that one because I think it really hit an emotional nerve about just how things die away if we don't pass them down, like language or stories. Well,
we've had a chance to chat about a great many things with season 1. I can't wait to continue this conversation about A People's History of Kansas City podcast. Special thanks to KCUR. We hope everyone will join us as we share more behind-the-scenes looks at the process as a storyteller and researcher.